Okay. Not one out. Welcome to Great You Present Here. In today's world, where data is the new currency, cybersecurity is not just an option, it is a necessity. Click every transaction and every information we share online has potential to be misused if not adequately protected. Hi, Ms. Rifaza. And I'm Kavinamdev. Students of data science are honored and privileged to host this national level seminar on cybersecurity and data privacy, organized by the Atharva Department of Data Science. To commence this prestigious national level seminar, I request our dignitaries to please come forward to seek the divine blessings of Ma Saraswati by playing the Saraswati Vandana. I request our technical team to please play the video.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा पातु सरस्वती भगवती
Thank you so much to our dignitaries and thank you to our technical team. Now, let us extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed dignitaries and guests who have joined us to make this session even more special. It is our great pleasure and privilege to introduce the esteemed founder and chairperson, Sri Sunil Rane Sir, our distinguished figure, forward-thinking leader, and who has made significant contributions across multiple domains. We also extend a warm welcome to Srimati Varsha Rane ma'am, Vice Chairperson of Atharva Foundation and founder of All Play Productions. Dr. B.N. Namade sir, the Director of ACE. Pallavi Rane ma'am, Assistant Director of Strategy and Growth. Dr. Preeti Jain ma'am, Principal of ACHMCT for their constant support and guidance. I also extend my warm welcome to Principal of Engineering College, Dr. Ramesh Kulkarni sir, and Research Head, Dr. Sangeeta Tripathi ma'am. Thank you so much for blessing our event with your presence. A special welcome to our esteemed guest speakers, Mr. Sachin Dedia, founder and CEO of Skynet Secure Solutions, and Mr. Suresh Menon, sir, managing partner of Leonis Consultancy LLP. I also extend my warm greetings to all the principals, researchers, HODs, teachers, and all my dear students for being a part of this incredible event. Atharva Group of Institute is founded in 1998 by renowned educationist and social entrepreneur Shri Sunil Rai Sir. The Atharva Institute was established with a vision to create world-class educational environment. Institute excellence while instilling ethical values and professional skills in the students to help them become versatile professionals. AGI is recognized quality professional education in fields such as engineering, IT, data science, hospitality, fashion, business management, film and television, mass media, sports management, offering a diverse range of undergraduate and postgraduate programs. Now, let's take a tour of the AGU campus through a short video. I request the technical team to please play the video of Atharva Institute.
We introduce ourselves as Extreme Technology. We travel with you for a long vision. We explore you to the next possibilities of engineering and technologies, from the smallest discoveries to the biggest enhancements. We always keep moving on to provide. We flash your passion into the sky. We add new colors to your life. We help you choose the opportunities that are waiting for you on your path. We teach you to be devoted. We together discover the new taste of the generation. Three, two, one, go! We develop your culture. We commit you to form a quality people in life. We are Atharva, a leading brand of education and technology.
And team, we live up where technology instantly, yet also expose us to very from all social media. Our lives are becoming digital, raising a critical question: how safe is our data? To address this pressing concern, we are privileged to have with us two esteemed experts in cybersecurity. Firstly, we have Mr. Sachin Deria, sir. He is an independent cybercrime investigator, certified ethical hacker, and international trainer in cybersecurity, ethical hacking, cybercrime investigations, and digital forensics. He has worked as an IT security expert for MNCs, SMEs, government agencies, and individuals. He has trained various state police departments and assisted government bodies with cybercrime investigations. Since 2010, he has conducted over 500 seminars and workshops, educating more than 1 lakh participants across diverse sectors. He has been a panelist on Z Business discussing the dark web and dark breaches. He is the founder of Skynet Secure Solutions, one of the India's leading cybersecurity firms, and is associated with prestigious institutions like the Indo-American Society and the Bombay Chambers of Commerce and Industry. We also have with us Mr. Suresh Menon. He is a cybersecurity expert and advocate. Mr. Conducted cybersecurity awareness seminars on dangers of cybercrime, threats, and preventions across various industries, including government, banking, education, care. He was a first member not by Cyber Yoda. He is also a certified hacker. He also holds certification in criminal justice and data analysis from IIT Kanpur and cybercrime investigations. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Suresh sir to start the session. कौन बोला? फिर दोबारा सब कुछ चेंज हो जाएगा।
Boy, male, female, double quotation. That is why we are using string.
Okay, okay, okay. Morning to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So we start with a small challenge of unmuting issue from the co-host or whatever. But thank you and thank you Atharva College for having us here, and it's our pleasure to address you all. And we thank the entire management for giving us the chance, and straight on to the point of cyber security, off we go. Before that, I will try to share my screen and just tell me whether you are able to see the screen. That's all. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
No,
Can you see the screen? Yes or no?
no, sir. Not
No, sir.
Okay, let me just reshare it.
Sir, can you start sharing one more time?
I'm doing that.
Okay. Dian.
Can you see the screen?
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So my name is Suresh Menon, and what we are going to do here is we are going to talk about the scandemic. Scandemic. We finished something called the pandemic. Now there is something happening called the scandemic, where every day when you open the paper, we are seeing scams happening. Right? So this is where we talk about. We have to be careful. What we learned during the pandemic is that दो गज की दूरी, mask करो, or sanitize कीजिए. So when such a scandemic is happening in the cyber world, what will I do to ensure that I make life difficult for the fraudster and the hacker, right? So this is where we talk about certain points which I will take through. And today what we are seeing is whole lot of cyber crimes, we are seeing 100 crores, 200 crores, 500 crores, 1100 crores happening in the first 9 months of the quarter, and now we are talking about 2025. This was the last 9 months of 2024. Now we have crossed it, and these figures, what we are noticing is only the reported crimes. जहाँ पे FIR हुआ है, there are lots and lots of crimes which are taken as complaint only, which will not come into this figure. There are lots of crimes which are not reported, so hence which will not come as a complaint. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. So what is happening in today's world? There are hundreds of scams happening. If we just talk about digital arrest and courier scams and online investment frauds, which are three big things happening in today's world, right? Other than fake marriages, what is that? Matrimonial frauds and other things, like forget about all those things. Currently we have lack of time. I am going to touch digital arrest, online investment and courier scams. Drugs pakda gaya hai and you're under a digital arrest. Switch on the camera and sit there. After some time they ask you to remove your clothes because they want to see from where you are taking your drugs. मतलब सुई कहाँ से लगा रहे हो या आप ड्रग्स के साथ डील करते हो, that means you are carrying some arms and ammunitions. So in the name of digital arrest, which is happening mainly from the Far East, like Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, and all that places, they fool you. First of all, under the Bharatiya Nyay Sanhita, which is the new law, replaced earlier it was Indian Penal Code. There are no clause. There is nothing like a digital arrest, nothing like a video call arrest. So the first somebody says you're under digital arrest, call band, kel khatam. You don't have to think further. Okay, any problem, if you feel threatened, then you can dial 112. 112 is a national helpline number by the police. They will come to your house and help you. Okay, otherwise you can walk into a police station. So all these things originating from South Asia is being done by our own people. Earlier, Jamtara was the hub of crime. Now it is South Asia, like Cambodia, Vietnam. Our own guys are taken there to do cybercrime. Youngsters like you who pass out from the college and are looking out for a good job, they say that I can offer you 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs per month. You are English speaking, you know technical things. We want people like you, and you are taken to Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Vietnam and all that. Your passport is snatched. ऊपर से वर्दी पहनेगा पुलिस का, नीचे से बर्मुडा शॉर्ट्स, and then you be calling Indians कि डिजिटल अरेस्ट पे हो, ऑनलाइन स्कैम, ऑनलाइन इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कैम. You can Google it, called the pump and dump scam. You are told that if you don't know, and especially as a youngster, we will teach you. You want to know. We all want to make money, and they will tell you that we will teach you how to make money over the Facebook. आजकल तो Facebook को यूज नहीं करते आपका generations का, Instagram या wherever दोस्ती करा के they will take you to WhatsApp group. First they will give you some free sessions, and then they will put you onto they will gain your trust, and then they will put you onto a WhatsApp group of investors where they tell you that if you invest so and so money, we will give you 40% or 90% gains direct. Which stock market in the world will give you guaranteed returns is I am unable to understand. No stock market gives you guaranteed return. So what is that we need to do is that we need to find out this is broker, the so-called fraudster broker who's calling you and putting in a WhatsApp group. First of all, avoid any WhatsApp group in your life. That itself is a red flag. Second is the broker, whether he or she is SEBI registered or registered on the Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, all those exchanges, उनका नाम है क्या वहाँ पे. Third is जो stock का बात कर रहे हैं, whether that itself is a registered stock. So somewhere you have to do due diligence. Anything on the internet which says that you are getting arrested now, आपका रात को बिजली कट होने वाला है, अब भी स्टॉक मार्केट पे इन्वेस्ट कीजिए, विद इन 1 hour you will get great returns. Anything which happens in a hurry, cut the call, sit, stop, think, breathe आराम से 5 times, and then only you need to think and connect. Nothing you have to do immediately. That the moment when you are busy in something, studying, exams है, एग्जाम का टाइम है, प्रीलिम्स का टाइम है, उसका टाइम है, इसका टाइम है, in between somebody calls you and acts fast, to act fast, that itself is a red flag. On top of it, we have situations where countries are trying to malign us. Deep state, One is the, the dark web and the dark net. One is the deep state. The states are actually trying to malign us through some fake news. Recent frauds which are happening in the stock market is a company called Debog. It's a genuine company, MSME. It tried its own, people, the board created a preferential allotment with the intention to fraud. In crime, there is always an intention to fraud, and the shares were transferred to promoters through the off-market transaction, subsequently sold in the market. And when they went public about it, shareholding went up from 30 to 90%. This was all done with the intention of pump and dump. So people started investing in it, and then when they started investing in it, the promoters made an illegal gains of 85 crores and they went off. They are not visible anymore. So this is where we talk about certain frauds like that. Okay, आज के ज़माने में lot of frauds are happening. The recent fraud which happened on a cryptocurrency called WazirX wallet, which was hit by the North Koreans and by Lazarus. So 230 million rupee cryptos lost. One crypto is equivalent to 80 or 90,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees currently. So just imagine the amount of money lost. Aadhaar-enabled payment scams are happening in the banks where your fingerprints are getting cloned by, copying it and, duplicating it, cloning it. So we need to take care of ensuring our biometrics are disabled. Our biometrics are disabled at the UIDA site, uida.gov.in. वहाँ पे जाके disable your biometrics, right? So these are all the frauds which are happening. So most of the errors are happening because of human problem. Human problem means seatbelt पहना नहीं, accident हो गया, आदमी shock से गया. Cyrus Mystery is one case, right? We are riding our bikes, we don't put the helmet and we are thrown off. Even if you wear the helmet for the police, we don't strap it. Learn it from our cricketers that we need to strap our helmet, otherwise impact में खत्म हो जाएगा. Another good learning which I learned from a cricketer called Jaunty Rhodes, because we are all cricket fanatics, we are cricket lunatics. He says anticipate and adapt in cybercrime. Anticipate and adapt, right? So whatever I'm writing, you are able to see, I presume. Am I right? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So Jaunty Rhodes is a famous cricketer. He was asked what is the common thing between cyber security and cricket. He said in cricket, when the bowler comes in, we as fielders, we start crouching. As a wicketkeeper crouches, we also start crouching. We anticipate कि ball मेरे तरफ आने वाला है. अगर मेरे तरफ आएगा, I need to be ready where the ball is coming. सीधा हाथ में आ रहा है, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में आ रहा है कि राइट हैंड साइड में आ रहा है, उस हिसाब से मुझको डाइव करना है, या तो बॉल एकदम हाई, is it coming very high, I need to take a high catch. So I anticipate and I adapt as per that situation. Cyber security also, you need to anticipate. Don't think कि मेरे साथ नहीं होने वाला, nothing is going to happen to me. हमारा सबसे, our biggest problem is we take for guarantee that nothing is going to happen to me, something is going to happen to somebody else. That is, threat intelligence is nothing but we are looking for any threat intelligence in advance. We need to be preventive, then being reactive. So like cricket fielders and wicket keepers and even a batsman, he looks at the finger of the bowler. Ball किस तरफ आने वाला है? Is it a bouncer? Is it? अगर bouncer है तो duck करने के लिए ready होना चाहिए. So this is what in cyber security we call it anticipate and adapt. That is what is a most of the problem in technology happens because we are not disciplined. We are not disciplined. खाना खाने से पहले हाथ धोना चाहिए. We need to have cyber hygiene before we touch the IT systems, right? So what are the few steps of cyber hygiene? What we do? As far as our children are concerned, they are getting into more and more gaming disorders, mental health issues with all of us, including me. Mental health issues because, and some of us will admit, some of us will not admit, most of us have got this problem, mental health issue in today's world because we are information overloaded. Normal intelligence is not working, and on top of it, now we have got artificial intelligence, which is creating a problem for all of us. It is a double-edged sword. एक side से अच्छा है, एक side से problem हो सकता है. Today, as we speak, the Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister, is in France. What is he in France for? He is in France for a worldwide conference on AI, something networking, which is there in the one of the slides. Leaders are networking, worldwide networking, including the French president and 60 countries, on how we can take care.
सर आपका माइक ऑफ है.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Yeah. Hello, am I there?
हाँ, yes sir. Now.
Okay. So am I audible and is my frame visible?
Yes sir.
Okay, so basically what I was trying to say here is the Prime Minister of India currently is in France, and 60 worldwide leaders, or most of them, are talking about having a cyber security framework over artificial intelligence, which is good to have, but it is being misused also with deep fake synthetic videos or voice synthetic clips. So we have seen that in a recent incident in France, where Brad Pitt, a famous, what is called actor, was somebody put his fake video that he's lying in the hospital and he requires funds, and he told one lady, "I love you." That lady sitting in France has transferred to this fake guy 7.5 equivalent 7.5 Indian crores, just because that Brad Pitt told her, "I love you, please take care of me." Kitna gaya? 7.5 crores. So this is where we need to understand. So this is where the Prime Minister is in France to talk about, one of the agenda is to talk about having a cyber security framework on how we can stop the misuse of artificial intelligence. So in today's world, in हमारे ज़माने में, when I used to do IT programming in 87 and 90s, I used to work for big companies like, today it is called Vodafone, those days called Hutch and Orange. We had all our computers in one place, users in one place, my data farm in one place, everything network in one place, and there was no much of a, internet. But, and so it was easy to
सर आपका माइक बंद हो गया.
I think somewhere it is, the pen is getting it. Okay, I'll forget the pen. I'll just use it without the pen. So yeah.
Sir, you got mute.
Okay. Can you see this now? And can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we can't see this, but can hear you.
You can't see the slide.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
Slide is not visible.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm really sorry for all these things, but it doesn't happen. I don't know why it is happening today. Anyway, sometimes it has to happen first time. Things have to be happening first time also. So let me just go and switch off the camera. Probably the camera is creating some problem. Okay, now I go back to my slide. I go back onto this one. Is it visible?
No, sir.
No, sir. Slide is not
No?
visible still.
No, sir.
No, no, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. In that case, I'll have to once again. I think come out, go off, and come in. Hold on, 2 minutes. Hold on, 2 minutes.
Sir,
Okay.
start sharing your slides so it will be visible.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. 1 minute. Share the screen. I think now it should be visible.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now it's visible.
Okay, so in a corporate world, this is what all the applications they will use. It is like a multi-layer clothing in winter what we wear. A, with one email application security or something else, it is not possible. So there are so many things in a corporate world they will use to ensure cyber security. Uske bawajud, there is a cyber security incident. It is like I take my car out for a ride. The moment my car is on the road, even though I am driving it properly, there can be other guys who's drunk and come and hit me. Cyber security or any other security cannot be 100% secure. So a lot of things are there. One of the things which I'll talk about is zero trust. What is zero trust? Zero trust is that it's not, we don't trust, we have to verify, that is all. And because there are a whole lot of things like ransomware happening in the current world, so 32 countries, like for artificial intelligence, earlier 32 countries came across the world to protect ransomware issues. That is called some anti-ransomware place. Your own house, the watchman would verify using a thermal gun whether you had fever, you had a temperature beyond a point, you had do gas ki duri kept maintained in your lift and everywhere or outside, and you sanitized. So same way, when the data comes into your system in form of a packet, how do you ensure that the data coming into your server, why should you not be preventive then being repentive? No point once the data comes into your server, then checking for antivirus and all that. That is a reactive situation. If the data is not supposed to come into your server, you can stop it at the perimeter. That is called software defined perimeter. And there is a framework called security access and services edge, SASE framework, which has got multiple things
sir.
on it from yeah.
Sorry for interruption, but can you go slowly?
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
there are lots of, a SASE framework is called services, access and security access and services edge. So this is called one of the components is the components of the zero trust, where there is a cloud security architecture broker. It takes you on the LAN security, wide LAN security. So this works on multiple things for the data network, users and devices. So the way it works is I check at the data header level where the data is supposed to come. And if this data is supposed to go to the sales department or the payroll department, it will go only there. Then there is something called micro segmentation, lateral movement. That means I came into your college, I was supposed to meet your MD. But after the meeting of MD, I went into your lab, which I was not supposed to go. So this lateral movement is taken care of by micro segmentation, by checking where the SMS is supposed to go, and it will not be allowed to go somewhere else, right? So that is why in big companies like TCS, if you go there as a visitor, then the person to whom you have gone and met will escort you before the meeting and escort you out, so that you cannot go into any other department. That is called lateral movement, which zero trust avoids through micro segmentation. Another thing what zero trust does is that identity access management. Suresh Menon is supposed to be there for this roles and responsibility. Only he can see that particular data, nobody else. So it is tied. Second is there are policies and rules created for privilege access management. Suresh Menon logging in from his house from daytime from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the night, it is okay. The same Suresh Menon, if he logs from a cyber cafe or XYZ, Starbucks at 1:30 in the night into your server, then there should be an alert. It is not a normal behavior. So these are the things which zero trust does, for your device application from whichever location you're traveling. Suresh Menon was here sitting in Mumbai, and suddenly Suresh Menon now is logging in from Hyderabad. Is it possible? Not possible. So these are all the alerts. That is what is called zero trust. It is the comparatively new security model. These are all where your information resides, including on the cloud. How do you keep your information secure, including on the cloud, through zero trust or ensuring a service level agreement is written properly? Once your data is told to be deleted from the cloud, how do you ensure the data is deleted from there? That is what we are talking about, all these things. So now, cybersecurity is nothing but confidentiality, integrity, and availability, right? So it should be confidential. Whatever has to be confidential, it has to be confidential. Whatever is the data you are giving, whether I'm a bank or whether I am a e-commerce or whether I'm IRCTC, whatever the data I am giving has to be accurate. And third is these sites, for example, IRCTC, if it shuts down for 4 hours or 5 hours, can you imagine what will happen? So you have to ensure that the availability is almost 99.9%. It cannot go down. One thing in cybersecurity, which we have recently also learned, is there can be a cyber murder. Lebanon pager incident attack, which you all know, where through pagers, about 1,000 Hamas soldiers or Hamas people were killed. How did it happen? So somewhere when the pager was manufactured and it was about to be delivered to Hamas, there is a supply chain management. Remember one thing, the company which manufactures the pager are not the persons who will deliver it, are not the persons who will cross-check it. Today, a lot of things are outsourced, including in the banking, financial industry and manufacturing industry. A lot of things are outsourced. So it is not handled by a single vendor. So there is a possibility if the process of security is not followed end to end. That is what ISO 27001 says. You have to follow the process end to end, including by your vendors. They have to be compliant. If it is not followed, there can be a contamination. In the contamination, somebody put some unwanted chemicals into the battery and triggered it remotely. So safety is another problem, right? So this is what happens typically in the corporate world. Confidentiality, integrity, availability, people, process, and technology. You can have the best of processes, you can have best of technology, but the weakest link are the people. And insider threat, jo ho raha hai, insider, company people giving information to competition, that also we are seeing that there are problems inside. So this is where constantly whatever security policies, government risk and compliances one has to follow, it has to be followed due diligently, not only for tick mark purposes to obtain compliance. Security culture has to be built in at home and in the office. So this is, I'm omitting. So these are the few cybercrime incidents which are happening recently. We are seeing finger cloning happening in Aadhaar enabled payment services. We are seeing, financial frauds happening on the UPIs. We are seeing crypto related problems. Biggest problem after COVID, what we are noticing is child sexual abuse material being distributed freely and spoken freely on the, lot of sex being spoken freely on the OTT, Gali, Galoch. 2 days ago, Ranveer Alabadia created some big problem by talking what he spoke on the YouTube. So all these materials freely available. The young mind is affected because there is no adults only certificate given. Any children can go and watch all these things, and they actually, their health, mental status is get affected, and they also speak the same language. So we have all sorts of attacks happening on this. I am closely associated with VJTI College Mumbai, where we do a lot of serious research work on OT security, where we can like Florida water attack, where the caustic soda content was increased, and that same content would have gone into the drinking water of the population. It could have created havoc, another cyber murder. It was caught in time. How a electrical transformer can be blown off by doing a DDoS attack, heating up the elements inside the transformer and killing people. So these are all the sort of attacks which can anticipate. Power grids can be brought down. So a lot of advertisement related malvertising attacks we are noticing. Earlier it was adware, now it is malware when you search over the Google engine. So you have to be careful on how you configure your Google browsers, all the adwares to be blocked, all the up-ups to be blocked, all the, do not save passwords. So completely always update your Google browsers every 4 or 5 days. And this is where you need to evaluate third-party ad networks that will be responsible, and always ensure that you have an antivirus in your laptop, mobile device, so that antivirus will give you a red or a green flag once you are approaching a particular site. That will give you a early warning sign whether this site. And on top of it, we are using QR scans code everywhere. How do you ensure that the QR scan, whatever you're using, especially when you go into a restaurant and walk into a restaurant, during the COVID times, we were not given a hand menu, but we were asked to do a QR scans code of the menu, because contactless menu was the time for during the phishing. So that used to take us to some malignant sites, nefarious websites which had viruses in it. So how do you ensure that the QR code is safe? So you have all these scanners available from Kaspersky, Trend Micro, or multiple other vendors, where you can scan it if you're not sure, and then only you can use it. So this is what we talk about, how to ensure cyber hygiene. So a lot of attacks happening: transmission code attacks, malicious code attacks. We have application threats, because you're all engineering students. So when we data science students, if you don't do a secure coding, then there is a vulnerability. So you need to think security. You need to first think about security while design stage. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to put security later on. So these are all the things where password still sometimes most of the places password is equal to password is equal to 1234 and all that. We need to have a tagda password called passphrase, and use wild characters like hash, dollars, and all that while creating all these things. So what is happening in today's world in cyber crime? It is lack of secure coding, security मेरे साथ नहीं होगा, बाद में देखा जाएगा, lack of awareness of the law, and dark net way हमारा own information is available, insider threat. So these are all the few things which are happening. So what is happening is smart cities, safe cities. Are they safe cities? Is what we need to check about all that. How I faked my life using AI. AI is being misused. We are seeing AI related crimes. We said Narayana Murthy in November 2024. Narayana Murthy and Mukesh Ambani came out with a video saying that invest in this particular shares and it is good. But it was fake AI related video. So we need to do a genuine check, understand how to look out at a fake AI video, do cross check on a stock market, do cross check on the stockbroker, then only invest. सोच कर, समझ कर, invest कर. Aadhaar is another problem with the fingerprints and biometrics. You need to go on to uida.gov.in and block it, and unlock it only when you require. Darknet is one area where your and my information could be available. It will be there. On the top is the surface web, below is the deep web, and most below is the dark web, where drugs and the onion ring is. These are all the drugs are available. and the onion ring is one browser through which you can access. You can't access the dark net using Google or Firefox or something like that. So now I just come to what is that we need to do to ensure that you make life difficult for the fraudsters and scamsters difficult. Because remember one thing, there is no patch to human stupidity. If I buy a laptop and मेरे को अगर दुकान वाला बोलता है कि ये लैपटॉप ले लो and I'll give you, if it is 50,000, the laptop is worth 50,000, I'll give you the same lap for 40,000 rupees. And then if I ask you, how can you give me such a discount? He will say that I'll give you a unlicensed version of MS Office 365, which is lifetime. The thing here is I will say no, because I don't require an unlicensed version. I require a licensed version of all softwares. I will not buy a jailbroken phone purely because in today's world, we have viruses worldwide in every few seconds. If I don't have a licensed version of the operating system, then I don't get patches coming from Microsoft or Apple or whatever it is automatically. That means I am more vulnerable. Okay, my exposure to crime is more. That is why I will pay more. I want security. I don't want any freebies or cheap, right? So this is where we talk about phishing video. Most of the attacks in a corporate world happening through a phishing video or through a link we have to press. Phishing video is a site which it looks like it has come from the same CEO of a company or the same principal of your college, but there will be some small, if Atharva is there, for example, Microsoft is there, then the Microsoft ka M will start with R and N. R and N. For you, it will look like Microsoft, but actually it is R and N, which looks like M. Small things. In this phishing video, I has got a dot on top of it. What if I remove the dot and keep it as a ASCII character? So that is where they think, it looks like the same phishing video. The first thing earlier, what we used to talk about phishing video is that in a corporate world, which you will be going very shortly, you need to ensure that there is an email security of DKIM, SPF ID, DMARC. These are all email security standards. We need to ensure that such things are available in the corporate world. Most of the cases, it might not be there. So you need to tell your bosses to ensure that email security hona chahiye, which filters which will filter the spam and unwanted mail coming in, and it will send you to spam or knock it off. So this is how do you identify in a real world कि ये जो मेल आया है आगे सुरेश मेनन लिखा होगा उसके नीचे xyz@hotmail.com, because we have seen a lot of emails coming to us saying that you were found watching porn. This is the CID department, and now we are taking action against you. Please press this link and send the money. Otherwise, you will be inside. Okay. How do you know it is actually coming from the CID or CBI? Simple thing, on your Gmail, which most of us use, on the right-hand side top, there are 3 dots. Press the 3 dots in the subject once you open the email, and after that, you will see your original header. Tap the original header, and whatever the content you will get in the original header on your screen, it will be Greek and Latin to you. Cut the entire content and paste it into a MX toolbox, or there will be online, if you search for read email header, you will get multiple solutions from CDAC or from Google or from other companies, where you paste this cut portion, what you have done from original header, paste it, and it will exactly tell you from where the email came. It is Suresh Menon, and it will show you xyz@hotmail.com. So it is not Suresh Menon. And second is, where is it going to, and how many hops it has done. So this is one way of checking the phishing email videos. So this is another way of checking it. So now I'm coming to how can you ensure that you are trying to have reasonable security practices for you and your family. First is, when I get a credit card from a bank, what do? I go and CVV number जो है पीछे का CVV number, I go and blacken the CVV with a CD marker. Why do I do that? Because that's the most important 3 figures of your life. Because किसी के हाथ में अगर CVV number आ गया and किसी के हाथ में कैसा आ सकता है? When I go to a restaurant or when I go to fill my petrol, I give my card to the petrol attendant or to the waiter. They can take the card inside and take a photo of your card आगे पीछे. And once they take the photo of your card आगे पीछे, they can use your card on Amazon.com. I am giving the specific reason the site Amazon.com because Amazon.co.in is an Indian site. Amazon.com is an international site. If I buy something on Amazon.com, once I have your card details, there is no OTP asked because OTP is asked only on the Indian payment gateways, not on foreign payment gateways. So without OTP, with your card being there, I can buy using your card. You will be sitting here in India, but your card will be used in New York. This is how it happens. So first is, blacken out your CVV number. Second is, earlier we used to tell, do not store your card details on Amazon, Flipkart, or Amazon.com, purely because they never used to encrypt the data and keep it. But now Reserve Bank of India says, do a tokenization of all the stored data. That means encrypt the data 100% of personal sensitive data and then only store it. So that way you're safe. So this is what I was talking about, the fake and the real email. This is, I will skip it. Then we are talking about, always when you're going into organization very soon, ensure that you understand the privacy policies, monitoring policies, the physical security, how to respond to a security incident, how to handle the intellectual property, because all these things you will sign blindly. And if there is any problem from your side, they might kick you out from the organization. So read all these policies. If you don't understand, ask your IT or ask your governance, risk and compliance people. So typically in organization, there will always be rules and regulations. Do this and don't do that. Do this and don't do that. Don't try to access personal mails or any obscene material from your official email, laptop, or whatever it is. Do not uninstall anything what is security software from your devices, or do not provide critical printouts to anybody from other than your official colleagues. Right? Do not. I would also say that do not use WhatsApp for official purposes. WhatsApp is a third-party software, and you don't want your information leaking into a third-party zone. Right? So what can be the do's and don'ts? Always log out of your computer systems. Think carefully about your online conduct. Always have a password for mobile, any access, and always have a two-factor authentication for Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, whatever the apps you are using. Two-factor authentication has to be enabled. What is two-factor authentication? You have an additional security of OTP coming onto your registered mobile device. How do you activate OTP or two-factor authentication? Go to your app, go to security, go to settings, and then you will find apps, security and settings, settings and security. You will find two-factor authentication, enable, disable. So you have an additional layer of security coming into the system. Always ensure that your Aadhaar is disabled biometric. Always ensure two-factor authentications. Always ensure your systems are patched. Laptop, mobile, applications, जो भी आप use करते हो, patch it, update the latest to the latest software, so that life becomes difficult for the fraudster and the scamsters. Okay, there is something from NIHAMS, National Institute of Health and Mental Services, something like that, from Bangalore, a famous hospital for all these things. They have come out with something called SHUT, Service for Healthy Use of Technology. Go and check this website, because we all require digital detox, digital fasting. We are all information loaded. How we can slowly cut off from the digital world? Only when we need it, we can use it. Otherwise, we are all paranoid about digital morning and night. How do you ensure mobile security? Bluetooth devices को बंद करो when it is not required. Wi-Fi रात को off करो, data pack off करो before you go to sleep. Ensure that the location is disabled. Ensure that pop-ins are disabled. Ensure that I switch off my phone once in 2-3 days, so that unwanted background background daemons, background processes are not running anymore. So that is what we do, and ensure that you download applications from either App Store or Google Store. Disable download apps from third party, unknown third party sites. We have always been told, do not press link, do not press the link, but we have never been told how to check what is there behind the link. If you don't know what is there behind the link, it could be a APK file, which is Android package. And if you want to check what is there behind the link before you want to press it, there are 2 or 3 ways. Cut and paste the link onto a Microsoft Word or any other editor, and it will show where the link is taking to. Is it an executable file? Is it a APK file, or is there some malware behind it? Other than that, you can use urlscan.io, URL, Universal Resource Locator .scan.io, and cut and paste it the site there, and it will tell you where it is taking you to. So this is another way of checking, right? So we all use Google Pay mostly. Ensure that you don't have to scan or give your PIN to receive money. Scan or PIN entering is only to pay the money, to pay the bill. That is all. So these are all some, slowly you will be working in a corporate world. So these are all the IT policies. If you misuse it, if you don't follow it, you can be fired. There can be reputation loss. There can be fines, penalties, and compensations. So this is the upcoming, the introduced Digital Data Protection Act 2023, which was brought into play last August in 2023. The rules are just out, and it is in a draft format. They are talking to the industry, whether it is okay or not. It will take some more time. So it is actually not in full, implementation. But the Data Protection Act says that if I give you my data, you have to tell me for what purpose it is getting used, for how long it will be used. After once the use is over, how it will be destroyed, or what will you do with that, right? If there is any problem, I can withdraw my data from you. If I give my data, you should not share with anybody else. You have to take my consent, and the consent will not be in a typical 100-page legal terminology with small things which I can't understand. The consent will be explained to me in a language which I understand. There are 22 languages as per the constitution. It will be explained to me in writing in one of the languages which I can understand. So they are very strict about all your data, how it is going to be handled, right? So they are going to come out with the Data Protection Board of India. There will be penalties for misuse. There is a grievance redressal form, and there will be a data protection officer needed in your organization who will guide you on how the data collection has to be done, the processing has to be done, the storage has to be done, and the accountability with whom it lies. So there will be a data fiduciary, data principal, and data life cycle, how it has to be handled. So how the dispute resolution will be done. This is still not in implementation stage. This is in a draft stage. The act has happened. The rules are in a draft stage, right? There is a IT Act in India. When you're using all this yantra called the devices, you should be knowing the IT Act, Information Technology Act of 2000, modified in 2008, and there are multiple amendments to it. IT Act doesn't work in tandem. It works with the new revised Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Saksham Sanhita, and all that things. So if you are tampering data in your device or somebody else's device, you're spreading virus, you have unauthorized access, or you're doing a back end espionage of a server. If you're trying to have unauthorized access, then what are the jail terms? What are the sentences? Is it bailable, non-bailable? Under which section of the IT Act, read with BNS or independent of that? So this is what you should be knowing. There's the IT Act 2000. So multiple things. Identity theft. I put myself as principal at atharvacollege.com. I can make a spoofed email ID. But if I do that, what is the terms and conditions? Bailable, non-bailable, and what is, if I do any cyber terrorism, if I touch, Aadhaar ID, which is Aadhaar server, which is a protected system, how it can affect how the sentence can happen against me. If I try to do a credit card fraud, somebody unauthorized access, hack into somebody's credit card, use their systems, use their CVV number, then it is 3 years or up to 5 lakh rupees fine, bailable under the IT Act, non-bailable under the IPC Act. IPC now is, replaced with the BNS. Pornography, if you watch, then what is the, especially for child pornography, even if you search for a child pornography, then what are the terms? 5 years for the first time offender and up to 10 lakh rupees or both. And this is what I just wanted to give you a flavor of the IT Act, right? If you do a software piracy, then 3 years and up to 5 lakh or both. This is just to give you a flavor of the IT Act, nothing else, right? So, in short, what do I do if somebody calls me and says that, I need to think, I need to do something, I need to do fast? अभी आपने बिजली का बिल भरा नहीं है, रात को नहीं तो 9:30 बजे कट हो जाएगा. Somebody gives you something कि अभी करो, immediate करो, तुरंत करो, 1 घंटे में करो. That itself is a red flag. So you need to stop, think, and connect. All these things I've explained. So I'm coming out of this very, very fast. Now, always back up your data, mobile data, normal data, everything you need to back it up, right? Now, I'm just coming into the last portion of how do you ensure that you take care reasonable security practices. This is called Suraksha, some 10 steps how to ensure that you have online security. Avoid free Wi-Fis. Avoid free Wi-Fis. Nothing is free in this world, so it might not have a secure transmission, right? Having a certificate saying that it is HTTPS does not guarantee the genuinity of the site. It is HTTPS only says that the data is going in a encrypted manner. Keep your operating systems updated. Always be aware and vigilant. Like John T. Road said, anticipate and adapt, right? Have different passwords for different applications. Everything cannot be one single password. Scan the attachments. Gmail में documents में Gmail में PDF आया, document आया. Before having food, you wash your hands. Similarly, before opening any attachments, you scan the attachment, whether it has got a malware. How can you scan the attachments? You can go to virustotal.com. Virustotal.com. You can go to and virustotal.com and upload this document, and it will be scanned by 32 virus companies, including Quick Heal, Trend Micro, what is that called? Kaspersky, Mike Norton, and tell you this document is clean, right? This is what it will tell you. Almost last.
Sir, your mic gone off. Your mic.
Your voice is not coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So basically, now you will be thinking, what is if there's cyber security and what is the career I need to take? As a cyber security student, as an engineering student, or whatever, if you have to go into a cyber security field, there are multiple career options. One is you can get into a offensive security, right? Bug bounty guys who are interested to find out the vulnerabilities. You can get into a security malware analyst. You can get into offensive security. You can get into a security architect. You can get into IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things security, which is your SCADA PLC systems. You can get into artificial intelligence, ML, machine learning area. You can get into product manager for a security product. You can get into secure coding specialist. So secure coding matlab you have OS standards, you have multiple standards by which you can have a secure coding. In today's world, bankings are coming out with a lot of standards. RBI, SEBI, they are coming at world-class standards. You can study that and adapt themselves. SEBI has got a very, very brilliant exhaustive framework called the cyber security framework from SEBI. You can download it. It's 200 pages. It will give you a flavor of what the industry expects from you in cyber security. right? The SEBI framework of August 2024. You can become a chief information security officer. You can become a cyber incidents response, DFIR, digital forensics and incident response person. You can become a auditor, ISO 27001, PCI DSS. You can become a forensics investigator, whether it is digital or accounting. You can become a cyber lawyer. You can become a technician to repair mobiles. You can become a lecturer in a cyber security, AI education and awareness. You can become a cyber psychology personnel. You can become a data privacy expert, or you can give your UPSC or MPSC exam and also join the police force into a cyber police or whichever department. That is what few of the things as a engineering student you can do with your cyber thing. In case if you lose your mobile phone, what will you do? I will go to CEIR, Central Equipment Identity Registrar, which is done by the Telecom Department. आपको आपका IMEI number, which stands for International Mobile Equipment Identity Number, which is available on your box or on your bill, वो जाके डालना है. What the government will do is that they will block this number, IMEI, which will not work on any network in India. Any network in India, right? So that will what will happen once they are able to track it. You can once they are able to track it, whichever ways they can track it, you can disable it and start using it once they are able to get it. Second is somebody is giving you abusive call, digital arrest है और यार हमारा आपके पास आपका private photos है और गाली गलोच, whatever they threaten you. If you have got a problem, you can go to Sanchar Sati, the last line, sancharsati.gov.in. उसके अंदर चक्सू पोर्टल है, चक्सू, CHAKSU, and there is a place where you can go and add, from where this call came, which number it came, what was it about, and you give your mobile number. What they will do here is they are trying to block such numbers or put such numbers as spam, which is the government is trying to build their own true caller to warn the others, and they will take action against that SIM card. So this is very important that you are getting a threatening call, somebody is abusing you, somebody is calling you, you keep on adding to this bucket. It will be a great use for all of us. Chaksu. In case you get hit by a fraud, then what do? You go to first is call 1930. When you call 1930, the next slide I will tell you, there are some 7 information you have to be ready with before you call 1930. 1930 is not so easy to get a number. So before you call, you should have all the following information ready, which I'll tell you what it is. Or if you are in Maharashtra, Maharashtra Cyber has introduced one more number, 14407. First thing is block all your cards. If you can't get 1930, the idea is it is done by the MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs. They have an integrated system between the police, the banks, the telecom companies, and so that the idea is when you say I have lost 1 lakh rupees, they will ensure that the money which goes into various accounts, it is called layering, it is frozen. The first job of the police is to freeze your money which has gone into various accounts so that it is recoverable. उसके बाद postmortem चालू होएगा. 1930 will freeze the amount to whatever level is possible because the fraudsters easily take the money very, very fast. It's a digital money. Nothing works, go to cybercrime.gov.in. Again, it is not an easy site. It takes long time. Sometimes after putting, the entire thing, it not go through. It's a government site, so it takes a long time. It can be frustrating. Or also inform your local police station, right? So these are the things before you call 1930. These are the things which also should be ready with you. कहाँ से phone आया fraudster का? What is your number? If you have done a fraudulent transaction, you are forced to do a fraudulent transaction, then UTR reference number will come in the SMS. You need to be ready with that. What was that particular transaction reference number? And brief of how the fraud has happened. Any screenshots which are there, you can put it in cybercrime.gov.in. These are some useful slides. These are some useful slides which will help you. This particular staysafe.online.com is a good government site, and CyberDost is a good site. It's a Twitter from the MHA. So these are all the things which will give you more details about cyber awareness, right? Thank you. this is what we do. We, as an organization, we do what should happen before an incident, during incident, and after incident, the entire gamut of cyber security. With that, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Atharva College Management, for inviting me here. And one thing in life, if you remember, security is incomplete without you. Each one of us are important in security, and we need to do our bit to understand and also spread this awareness to our families. Like I said, like John T. Rhodes, the famous cricketer, said, anticipate and adapt. With that, I thank you. I thank you
Everybody,
all for
please
the
be
opportunity.
silent.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, I can take it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Now, I request the audience to raise their hands if they have any questions. Please allow the Google Meet पे किसी को अगर hand raise करना है तो. Online participants, please raise your hands if you have any questions.
Okay. I can see one raised there. Somebody is called. If I can see one finger from there, Noorini or somebody.
हाँ तो इनका नहीं फोटो की क्या है लेकिन बोलूँ क्या You can ask the questions now.
Somebody has raised the hand. Noorani.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, myself Sagar Suryavanshi. I am currently doing Bachelor's of Science in Information Technology from KES College. Sir, as I am very enthusiastic to learn and get into the career of cybersecurity, so I have done certain courses from Udemy as well as from AWS, like Solution Architect, Competence Security Plus, and all the stuff. So I want to know which are the other few courses or certification which will help me to go and deep dive into the cyber security or information security or compliance related careers.
So there are multiple close courses depending on where you want to go into. Is it offensive security? Is it auditor? Is it
Defensive.
हाँ, right. So जैसा उन लोग बोलता है लोहा लोहे को काटता है. So for you to understand, go into defensive, you need to know what is offensive, how they are going to, you need to think like a hacker. So CEH is one course.
Okay.
Certified Ethical Hacker is one course. Is what you can do. Then there are a whole lot of frameworks you can study. You forget about everything. Like I told you, SEBI has come out with a framework. Okay? It is a very exhaustive framework. It's a 206 pages framework. You download it, it is available free of charge from the internet.
SEBI framework.
SEBI Cyber Resilience Framework, August 2024. SEBI, right?
Yes, yes.
SEBI framework आप ऊपर से नीचे रीड कीजिए, then you take a call. उसके अंदर सब standards, सब whatever has to be followed has been given. Then you take a call, whether if you want to go for offensive security, whether you want to go for a DFIR, Digital Forensics Incidents Response, whether you go for auditor, everything standards are maintained there. That will give you answer in one shot, and that will make you stand out in the market. It is exhaustive.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so there are, of course, there are certifications like CEH that you can start off with. Okay. Because CH will tell you how the offensive security happens. If you know how the offensive security happens, you can think about some defense.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
I can see few more. Janil and yeah. Abhay.
Sir, can I?
Yes, yes. Please continue. Please continue.
Sir, my name is Abhim Shah. I am from Standard. I am from TP Bhatia College, studying in Standard 11. My question is, sir, using VPN for our safety to spoof our IP address is legal or illegal?
In between, India came out that they were planning to make VPN illegal. So far, it has not been implemented.
For my sir, for my opinion, VPN यूज करना चाहिए क्योंकि उससे सर सेफ्टी रहता है, हैकर भी हमें नहीं पकड़ पाता है.
VPN is not an end-to-end security. In zero trust, instead of VPN, I would say zero trust is better than a VPN. VPN is a tunnel up to certain end. It is not end-to-end. Correct. But at your level, fair enough. VPN is good. I agree at your level. But in organization level, zero trust is the complete end-to-end security. Because zero trust क्या करता है? अगर आपका घर के सामने दरवाजा है, दरवाजा पे ताला है, तो the thief will think of entering in. What if I cloak that? What if there is no darwaja in my house? If I'm able to hide the darwaja, how the thief will come in? That is called zero trust. So I will say that you start reading about zero trust. It is called cloaking. What I said was cloaking. If you see, we cannot protect everything in this world. I can, in a corporate world, I can only protect my critical crown jewels. Right? Oh, critical crown jewels ko kaisa protect karna hai? Because you people are now getting into, slowly the corporate world. You said you're in 11, but you need to think big. You can think about small tunnels, dig karke, I will go to the other side. You need to think 360 degrees, like Surya Kumar Yadav. I'm just giving you an idea, nothing else.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Any other questions?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I'm Janil Joshi from KES College, right now studying in BSc IT.
Yes,
Sir, I have been interested in networking and also in hacking. So could you please guide a particular roadmap to study it?
Why are you interested in hacking?
Sir,
There is no word called hacking.
Ethical hacking.
Please say, yeah. So I will not be helping a person who is interested in hacking, no?
I mean, cybersecurity type of to act as a cybersecurity expert in a companies and in some government agencies also.
So you look at VAPT rules, VAPT, offensive security type karo. So like I told the other gentleman who spoke first, I forgot his name, Abhay. You go through you go through the CEH first, CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker Course from EC Council. You start off with that, and then you do some research on VAPT, Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing part, and from there you take it over. And then you get into offensive security, then you research for red team. That is what corporate world looks out for, red team, blue team and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
start
sir,
off with CH.
Sir, I have one more question. Sir, you told that there are cyber, like a cyber blast, like a person can blast a particular person's mobile. Then can it occur through frequency frequency fluctuation?
See
That,
see, everything is possible through this. For example, like a DDoS attack. I can spike your electrical transformer, right? Because I put in so much of data packets inside, it blows out due to the heat. It cannot, transfer. Second is, I can do the same spoofing attack in your manufacturing plant, enter your system through your what is called heating, ventilation AC system, non-IT system, and come into your IT system and do something lafda. So IT OT convergence, we have to be very, very careful. Everything is possible in today's world if they are able to, put some sort of a, chemical or something into, and when to trigger that remotely, that we all seen in that Lebanon pager blast. Everything is possible. And on top of it, today we are using robotics in the healthcare industry, where it is not run alone. The doctor is sitting there in front of a console and asking the robotic to do a keyhole surgery. If I can put some malware into the robot, then it can kill up a patient. So everything is possible. security cannot be 100%.
Okay. And sir, the one last question I have. Sir, when I will be following of the CEH which you recommended, then which particular programming I have to focus to get expertise on it?
So this particular question, I will say that you put it to the next speaker, Sachin Dedia. He's absolutely fantabulous at this. He's running some few courses also. So he will be able to give you a very clear thought,
Okay.
feedback, right? He's the right person. He'll give you the most minutest details on all these things. I did my CH, 2010. 14 साल पहले. He will give the latest information.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I really liked the audience and the interactiveness. I'm thankful once again to Atharva College for the opportunity given. Dhanyawad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Sachin Dedia, sir, to share his expertise on digital forensics and data privacy.
Hello, can you hear me?
A huge round of applause
Yes,
for
sir.
Sachin, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. So we all had a very wonderful session from Mr. Suresh Menon, and we had a lot of insights. So now we are going to continue further on that. So my first thing to ask all of you is that when Mr. Menon said that, there are many ethical hackers. So suppose if you want to become a hacker, what would you like to target? I'm just asking all the students. Suppose, if we train you to become a hacker or an ethical hacker, okay, what would you like to target?
Sir, I have a question on that.
Yes, tell me. Yes.
Sir, why the hackers is especially use the method of email spoofing? Email spoofing.
Email spoofing so that nothing gets traced back to them. See, one of the first rule of attacks, one of the first rule that or any hacker, or any criminal, any fraudster, any ethical hacker will also learn is what? Cover your tracks. पहले अपने आप को बचाओ. Learn to defend yourself first. Like I'll give you an example. I can teach you how to hack into your neighbor's Wi-Fi. But suppose your neighbor has also learned the same trick from me. मतलब आप बाजू वाले का वाईफाई हैक करो, बाजू वाला आपका वाईफाई हैक करेगा. चलेगा? नहीं ना? I hope all of you are getting me. So what would we like to
Yes,
do
sir.
first? We would first like to defend. Agreed? We would first like to protect. In email spoofing, what happens is, suppose if I send a mail from my own ID, is it very easy for me to get traced back? Yes, one thing.
Yeah.
Second, I want that person to open that mail. So suppose if I make a call to you, showing one of your friend's number. So if I send a mail spoofing an email ID, so I know the possibility that that person will open that email ID is more. I hope all of you are getting me. Like, I just want to increase the chances of that mail getting opened.
But sir, how to recognize an spoof email?
How to recognize? Yes. See, I'll tell you, first of all, we have to do something called as an email header thing. See, if time permits, I'll also ask one of my colleagues. They will show you how to send a spoof mail. I hope you're getting me. So once you understand that concept, okay, then you can see how to identify one. So, but to keep it in very short way, we have to go into something called as email headers. See, if we look at the mail as it is on the face of it, it will look as if it is coming from the original email ID only. Okay. But if we check the email headers, then only we'll come to know the mail is not coming from the original email, basically. So what I can request is, Janvi, you're there.
Yes, sir.
Can you share your screen?
Okay.
Wait, your screen is still not visible. Let me check. Okay, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
So I'll come back to the first question. If you want to become a hacker or an ethical hacker, what would you like to target? मतलब क्या अटैक करना चाहोगे आप लोग? किस चीज को अटैक करना चाहोगे? System framework and firewalls.
ठीक है, परफेक्टली राइट। सिस्टम फ्रेमवर्क, फायरवॉल, फायरवॉल को ब्रीच कर दूंगा तो पूरा नेटवर्क का एक्सेस हो जाएगा। परफेक्टली राइट। और क्या?
Database.
डेटाबेस,
Database.
परफेक्ट। एसक्यूएल
SQL
डेटाबेस ऐप
injection.
में आ गया तो सारा डेटाबेस, सारे सारे
database
कस्टमर्स, आपका पूरा डेटा आ जाएगा। यस
server.
राइट। सर्वर, परफेक्टली राइट। बहुत सारे लोगों का बैकअप सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेयर सब सर्वर पे ही रहता है। यस।
It could be Wi-Fi.
इट कुड बी वाईफाई। यस। ऑल ऑफ योर एक्सीलेंट आंसर्स। आई एम जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर वन मोर आंसर।
Acting as a man in the middle to access
हाँ,
both the parties'
so
database.
yeah, so that is one of the process, one of the methodology, one of the methodology. Yes, man in the middle attack.
Hacker company.
So I would like to tell you, we would go after a mobile phone. The firewall is good, server is good, network is good, Wi-Fi is good, and attack a mobile phone. Why do I am going after a mobile phone? So my first question is, I think majority of your parents would have started using mobile banking. Yes, even you as
Yes, sir.
students, you have started using Google Pay and Phone Pay. Yes, so
Yes, sir.
money is there in the phone right now. Okay. Second, you must have also configured your email IDs on the phone. Yes, you are also using
Yes, sir.
WhatsApp. Yes, plus you are also taking your photos, selfies, everything. So I hope all of you are getting me. Corporate email IDs are configured on the phone. Mobile banking is also there. WhatsApp is also there. So everything is now happening on the phone. Getting me? So it's very easy, or it's not easy, but it is like advisable to attack a phone where we can get a lot of information. Right? So now what I would request Janvi, if we can just demonstrate how do we target a phone. So we are now going to start with something called as mobile security. Janvi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, if I as an individual want to hack you, I will start with a phone. So what hackers do is they straight away don't send you something. They'll send you a virus or anything. They'll start with a spyware. So what spyware basically does is it acts like a spy. It will you know monitor everything that you're doing on the phone, and it gives the attacker a good understanding of how and what you do. Okay, so we have an example of a spyware, that is Flexi Spy. Now, this spyware is available for use. You can also, pay and use it. But some hackers also make their own sophisticated spywares. But nonetheless, the features of the spywares, of any spyware, remain the same. So now we'll look at the features of these spywares. What do you prefer, Android, iPhone?
Mostly Android.
Okay.
Android.
Android.
Okay, we'll see the features for Android. iPhone it adds the iMessages and calls. So now here, different packages are there. It is a bit expensive, so we'll look at the most premium package and see all the features that are available if a spyware is installed in a phone. So we have phone call recording, phone call interception, spy call, environment recording. Now, do you guys know about environment recording? What exactly it is?
Screen recording.
Sorry?
Yes, software.
Yes, what do you think environment recording is?
Yeah, phone software वगैरह.
Okay.
उस फोन के नियर बाय में जितने भी सारे फोन होंगे सारे में रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट हो सकता है. Really possible.
Okay, so basically even if you've placed your phone somewhere, अपने phones क्या है ना हमें constantly सुनते रहते हैं. What we talk about has It happened to you like you're just talking about something and similar ads pop up in your YouTube or your browser? Yeah? Anyone experienced it? You can put it in the chat also. Yeah, so basically that is because of environment recording, is that your phones are constantly listening to you. So even your assistants, if you have it on, like your Google Assistant is on, or if you have iPhone, if right now you say hey Siri or okay Google, it turns on, right? It answers. So how did the phone or the assistant know you're calling them? Because it was listening throughout what you're saying. So environment recording becomes very crucial for us hackers, and this feature already exists in your phone. So it's not like we are making this feature. A spyware will just exploit it further. Okay. Then we have Facebook call recording, Hangout. All the like social medias are included in this. Skype, Viber, WhatsApp. Then we also have SMS. Now, even though I do have all the social medias covered in this spyware, why would a hacker need access to your SMS? What would I gain from that?
OTP from such banks or confidential information.
Yeah, right. So OTPs still come on SMS, and even banks send this when you do a transaction. Banks send you the amount that is remaining in your account. You've seen those messages on SMS that this much amount is remaining in the account. So that is also very crucial information, so that the hacker knows, okay, now you have the most money, so they can plan an attack.
Janvi, can I just add something here?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Guys, can you hear me? You can put it in the chat. Yes, no, is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, okay. Hi, I'm Nikhil. So Sachin's had to step out because of an emergency. So I'm a friend of his. I'm here covering in. I run my own company. That's a different thing. Okay, just quick introduction about me. Just two things out there that have been left out. One is REM cam and one is REM vid. Okay. She jumped over that. So REM cam is remote camera and REM vid is remote video. Right. So just to be clear, this is a possible software that me, Janvi, somebody else can install in your phone and use it to turn on your camera remotely and relay the feed to us. Okay, without you having to do anything. Your phone will be off, your screen will be dark, your camera will come on and tell us what is happening around you. Right? And that is for camera, it's for captures, it's for video, it is also for sounds. Right? So this is also a part of environment recording. It goes one step further. So if I ask it to click a photo, it will give me a photo of you as well, right? So this could be a biometric stealing item as well, because your phone cameras now recognize your face as a biometric. So that could also be picked up. So back to you, Janvi.
Yeah, so I sort of slipped it, but so covered it very well. Then we have call notification alerts, SMS keyword deletion. I could actually delete some of the important parts in your SMS. Then Facebook call logs, we have, as I said, we have all social medias: Facebook, Line, Skype, Viber. We have WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, Hike. Now, because this is international, it also has some apps that are banned here, like TikTok. Then even the dating applications like Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, these are covered in this. So literally, if a spyware is there in your phone, it can see everything that you're doing. Discord, Bumble. Now there's something called geofencing in this. Does anyone have any idea? Because location tracking, we all know that hackers try to, track our location. But does anyone have any idea about geofencing? So, what is a payload? So, payload is any malicious line of code that you can use to hack. So, basically, when we try and test or even hack a web application website, in a login fields, the input fields that are given, we try and put a payload. So, if a input field says username and password, instead of putting a username, I'll try and put a payload and see how the web application reacts. And if it does give out,
So, Janvi,
result.
can I just step in for a second again?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Mangalam, do you want to know what kind of payload can install a spyware, or do you want to know what a payload is in general?
Sir, what is a payload? And spyware is also a type of payload.
No, no, spyware is type of a malware.
Sir, and what about payload in
Payload
general?
is single line of code, so malicious lines of code. And spyware is a whole thing. Like if you're writing a program, it's a whole thing, right? And payload will just be one line. Is payload
Yes.
SQL injection?
Way to put it very simply, Mangalam, if I have to simplify it a lot for everybody, a payload is a way to pass on malware, right? It is a rooted, it's a carrier, right? The malware is actually, so spyware is technically a form of malware. There are 100 other malwares. One of them is a spyware. We're speaking about that specifically because it can possibly affect you personally at some point of time, right? And yeah, okay. Bhavya, I know you're asking for something about, okay, is it similar to SQL injection? Not really, Bhavya. It's a little different. If you can ask this question again at the end, we'll take that up, right? Just to maintain Janvi's flow here. I hope that's okay. Janvi, please continue.
Yeah, so does anyone know about geofencing? They ask for location permission. Not really. So basically, what happens is you all are college students. You come from your home to college and college to home. This is your usual route. Okay. So if I am as a hacker monitoring you and a lot of others, it becomes very tedious to monitor every single one and where everyone is going and their locations. So what I'll do is whatever your usual route is, I'll put a geofence on them. So whenever you're going out of that route, I'll get a trigger. Now, this is also used to do physical crimes, right? Like a hacker would know that you're out of your town or something and will try to do a physical crime like robbery, burglary, things like that. So you would like to add something?
Yes. So, Janil, once again, what is your question exactly? Are you saying, does your phone ask for location permission when the app is installed to allow geofencing, or are you asking, you know, does the hacker ask for permission? I mean, I didn't get the question. So, my understanding is you're expecting, like every other app asks for location permission. Does this also ask for location permission and camera permission, etc.? Is that right?
Yeah, sir, in that way, like other
Okay,
apps.
so normally when spyware is installed, they are always designed as super apps. They are not designed as a regular app, right? So a super app basically by default gets all permissions. Like for example, when you buy an Android phone or when you buy an iPhone, they do not ask you for permission to access, maybe some of their features, or the OS does not ask you for permissions. You get this? The OS has your location permission by default. It defines which app gets the permission of your location, right?
Yeah.
So typically they are situated one level above the app, right? And yes, normal low-level spyware will get detected, right, by your default if your phone is updated. But if there are certain loopholes in your system, right? I'm using the word loophole because we'll make it general for everyone. I don't know if they're all at the same level as you, technically speaking, but uh, they basically use exploits to reach another level where they are not asked for permissions or they bypass all permissions, right?
Yeah, sir.
So Bhavya, yes, it disguises itself as a system application. That just so you don't see it, that all levels of spyware will do. The most sophisticated ones will not even require any physical touch on your phone to have it installed. So typically, you know how you jailbreak an iPhone in order to install a few apps, right? Or when you're installing apps from outside the Play Store, you have to give a whole set of permissions, right? For a base level spyware, that needs to be physically granted. For advanced spyware, that just gets bypassed through exploits. Are you guys clear about that? Bhavya, Janel, both of you at least? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Janvi, you want to continue?
Yeah. Okay, so that was geofencing. Then we have browsing activity, browser bookmarks, network connections, what all networks you're connecting to. Then application activity, installed applications. Also, we have a keylogger. Now, I believe you might know something about keyloggers and what they do. Yes, anyone?
Keep track of key inputs.
Yeah. So whatever you're typing, or logs are maintained of that thing. So keylogger basically monitors all your keystrokes. So it will get all your password, whatever payment information you're entering. So earlier it used to happen that there was a single keylogger and it would work for the whole system. But now hackers have made smart keyloggers, because see, if you have a single keylogger for the whole system, everything that you're typing will be logged in it, and there becomes a lot of garbage value in that. So instead of doing that, hackers have made a smart keylogger so that only works on your login pages and your payment website, which is all the important information that they need. So whenever you're logged into a form or a website, a keylogger will get activated. It will take your username and password, and whenever you're doing payment, it will also get activated. Even your browsers might ask you whenever you're logging in that should we save your password, right? The browser does ask you. So it basically got to know your password from the keystrokes, from the key logs. Then photos, videos, audio files, wallpapers.
Can I just ask a few uncomfortable questions, Janvi, to them?
Yeah, sure.
To the audience. Hello, everybody, guys. Okay, I want answers for some of these. Okay, are you guys still awake?
Yes,
Okay, I
sir.
know people in class can't hear. Okay, someone is. All right. So now, again, she said two things: photos and videos. Right? Are any of you a content creator? Do any of you like to play music? Right? Do any of you like to sing? Do you occasionally record your own video just to see how it is, or how it? If you like to dance, do you like to see how it is? Right? If you like to create, let's say you paint, you click photos, right? So, do any of you guys do this? You'll click a photo or a video and keep it on your phone? Yes? Photos of yourself,
Yes.
photos of your friends. Yeah.
Yes, most.
Everyone can type in chat if you don't want to come on audio. That's perfectly fine. I'm
Yes.
reading the chat.
No,
All right.
you are.
Now, just take 1 second to think about how creepy this is, right? Just take a second. There is some third person, right, who has access to all your data, your photos, and your videos. Right? Just take a second, and they can do whatever they want with it. So, for example, and I'm going to be stick to the nicer ones and not the nastier ones. on the relatively nicer side. Let's say you are someone who's trying to learn how to sing, you have just started, you made a video to record yourself, right? To hear yourself, or you just start dancing, and now this person shares it as a meme on social media, right? Um, and it becomes the class joke, or it becomes the joke for everybody, right? Now the question is, how likely are you to continue following your form of art after this? Will you be happy to keep practicing and then going on stage and performing in college, or will you feel ashamed and try to avoid it? Quick question, guys. I'm expecting answers. Like, let's leave the technical aside. What if this happens to you? How will you feel? How will you feel if someone can turn on your camera, know what is happening in your house, or where you are, or what you're doing? How will you feel if someone can listen to the sounds? How will you know what you text your best friend? How will you feel if someone can use that to actually blackmail you that, boss, मैं तुम्हारे parents से जाके बात करूंगा. I'll go talk to your parents and tell them this is what you talk about, or this is what you do, or this is who you are, unless you do something for me in exchange, right? Uh, how is that going to feel for you guys? Just take a moment to understand that, right? Because the theory of it is very nice. This is practically the situation. This is the world we live in, right? And if you want real life examples of spyware actually causing damage, you can go read up about Jeff Bezos' divorce, right? You know Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon? Yes?
Yes.
No? Yeah, just go and read about his divorce at some point of time and what role spyware had to play in that, right? So things like this have very real world consequences for very real people, right? And very tech savvy people, right? So just because this session has a whole element about privacy, right? Now, because you guys are feeling, let's say, creepy and scary, you're feeling insecure, you realize the problems. Now, do you understand what privacy is and why you need it? Just at a superficial level. We will talk about that in a little more detail, but do you get an idea about it? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And
Janvi,
I
you want me
also
to
hope you
tell them a little?
understand. Just 1 minute, Nikhil. Sorry. So I hope now you all understand why we are going after mobile phones. In the beginning of the session only I told now that any criminal, any hacker, any fraudster, what they would like to target first? A mobile. Now look at the things that we can get from the mobile. Like I hope nothing has been missed, right? Especially all your social media, like even if you're going on say Tinder or any dating websites, also social media websites, everything has been getting captured. So many people who come to us and then say कि सर उसका व्हाट्सएप हैक करके दो, उसका इंस्टाग्राम हैक करके दो, उसका लोकेशन ट्रैक करके दो. हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? हम लोग पूरा फोन ही हैक कर देंगे. लाइक आई होप यू आर गेटिंग मी. सो उसको ही अटैक करो तो आपको सारा चीज मिलने ही वाला है, right? And if time permits, Nikhil and Janvi will also show how does a fraudster see the data. ये अगर किसी का फोन हैक हो जाता है तो पीछे बैकएंड में डेटा दिखता कैसा बेसिकली. ओके, या गो अहेड निखिल, सॉरी.
Fair enough. Nice to have you back, Sachin. Okay, so Janvi, you mind if I if I get these guys a little bit in to hear about a little bit about privacy, while we're at it?
Yeah, sure.
Can you let me share the screen? You're presenting
Yeah.
it. Okay. All right. Entire screen for now. Yes, share. Okay, guys, can you see this? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now for some reason, I'm not able to see chat here, right? So I'll keep popping back and forth like that. If you have any questions, please ask me immediately, right? So very quickly, just to take a little break from it, right? This is what we are talking about, right? So, a need for privacy. You've already heard about spywares. There is a further need. There are more concerns. We will talk about that. We will also talk about why. Okay, so you are already understanding why there needs to be a legal stance on privacy, right? Based on the feelings that you just felt. And then finally, what are we doing about it as a country, right? That's going to be keep it very simple. Now, first question: what's the most important thing to protect, right? One, two, three, four. Guys, please put in your answer. Quickly, quickly, quickly.
One.
Three. Anybody else except for Bhavya who wants to answer?
Email.
Come on, come on. Two.
And credentials.
Okay, I'll give 10 seconds. Come on, guys. Just put in whatever the answer. There's no right or wrong. Okay? 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3,
Email password.
2, 1. Okay. So everyone's put 1, 2, 3, whatever, and I see 1, 4, right? So congratulations. Nurani, I forgot your name. I think it was Sagar. I'm not sure. So, guys, the answer is obviously the pants you're wearing. If you are in physical danger, you do not worry about your email password and office PC login. Please do not, right? Why did I talk about this? It's because you need perspective. Whenever you talk about privacy, there has to be perspective, right? You cannot just think about technical stuff all the time. You need to put it in a real context, right? So why do you need privacy? So there's obviously, and I'm going to go a little fast. If you have any questions, please ask, right? So the need for privacy is basically this, that, okay, so personal freedom. So if you want to become an artist, if you want to become a good coder, if you want, if you want to do anything in life, it starts with practice. It starts where you are given space, where you are experimenting for yourself with things that you don't want other people to know about, right? Until you're a little good at it. And unless you're given that space, you will probably stop following that art form. You will probably stop that career pursuit, right? If people are constantly looking at it, maybe mocking you, maybe not mocking you, right? About, how you're going about it, right? So it basically interferes with human development, right? Are we clear about this? If you do not pursue a career that you want, if you do not pursue an art that you want, it's a problem with your development, right? This is why we need privacy. One thing, safety is you have a right to basically not fall a victim to cybercrime, right? Do you guys agree with this? I know I'm talking at a very basic and
Yes, sir.
simple level, but it's important, right? So are we clear? It's important to understand what the word privacy means before going to data privacy. Are we clear? Yes, no in the chat, please. The faster you reply, the
Sir.
faster we go on. I can't hear
Yes,
you
sir.
up there for some reason. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Control. Obviously, you should be able to decide who has access to your information and how it's worked, right? And you should be able to protect yourself from harm and exploitation, right? So the case where you are chatting something with your friend in confidence, someone comes to know about it, can basically use that to blackmail you. You should have the right. So basically, that is what privacy is all about. Okay. You guys know this fellow? I already spoke about Jeff Bezos. Now, you guys know this guy? Anybody know him?
Yes.
Does anybody know him? Yes, no. Who is he?
Facebook on the
Zuckerberg. Fantastic. This was a photo click where he hit 500,000, subscribers on Instagram. No, 500 million people were using Instagram, actually. Yeah. So the curious part about this photo is this, right? And I've zoomed in for your convenience, right? On his laptop. Okay. Now I know Facebook's been like the king of violating people's privacy, but just look at his laptop. He has his webcam and microphone both covered, right? Just take a moment to understand that, right? Yes. He also feels the need to protect it, right? Going on. Okay. So what is the legal stance of privacy? Does anyone know the answer to this? What does the Supreme Court and what do the UN say about privacy? Anyone? 5 points for getting this answer. Come on, somebody. Okay, now now if you answer, you're just googling it, or you're using ChatGPT. So the Supreme Court of India, as well as the UN, classify privacy as a fundamental right. Okay. Do you know what a fundamental right is? Yes, no.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do we know what a fundamental right is? Can I give you an example? Another fundamental right is a right to life, right? So when the Constitution or the Supreme Court of India guarantee a right to life in India, it means that you have the right to stay alive in India. And because it's a fundamental right, murder becomes a crime because it violates your right to life. Okay? So your right to privacy is essentially recognized at the same level legally by the Supreme Court in India and by the UN as at par for your right not to get murdered. Right? Are you guys understanding this? The criticality of it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no. Okay, on chat, anybody? Abhay, you're speaking. I can see your microphone blinking, but I cannot hear you for some reason. Right? I'm able to hear the other folks. Okay, so going on, I'm just rushing through this. Sources of concern. There are physical sources of concern. Just imagine. Okay, let's start with the simple ones. Imagine your parents keeping an eye on you all the time. क्या कर रहा है, क्यों कर रहा है, कैसे कर रहा है, क्यों कर रही है, ये क्यों ट्राई कर रही है, वो क्यों ट्राई कर रही है. Or your friends keeping an eye, making jokes all the time, right? On a more serious concern, imagine a stalker, imagine a private detective, someone following you all the time, trying to see what you're up to, right? That is an infringement of your privacy, right? In a digital way, spyware we have already spoken about. There is another factor called company breaches, right? So, Janvi, can I just pass it on to you? You want to share your screen and talk about company breaches for a bit? So there are some cases where it is beyond your control to prevent your information from getting leaked. Okay, like spyware. Okay, you can protect your phone. You can keep an eye on your data levels. You can make sure what you access, everything. You can do everything that Suresh spoke about earlier, right? But even if you do all of that, right? What if your data gets breached from a company server? What could you have done about that? It's a simple question. Janvi, are you with us? Should I just quickly bring it up? Have you guys... okay, I'll just quickly do this. Have you guys seen this website? Janvi, we
Yes,
can't
sir.
hear you. You seen this website? Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Has anyone
Yes.
not seen this website?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
start there.
Yes.
Okay, so Nikhil Gupta hasn't seen this website, right? So anyone wants to give me, Nikhil, what's your email ID? Oh, I'll just use mine otherwise. If anyone wants to share their email ID, I mean, just please feel free. I mean, there's nothing of concern. This site is fed data by the FBI also, so you don't need to worry about it. Yes, no, maybe. I'll just use my own email ID. Anyone sharing your email ID? 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2. It's a very unique email ID. I really hope you use it for websites. If not, I'll just use my own. Okay, so you are not porn, so I'll just use my own. This is a really old email ID actually. So I have basically lost data from LinkedIn, Zomato, Yatra, house.com, Zoomcar, Big Basket, IMJobs, IndiaMart, LinkedIn, Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail, Hathway, Trello, right? Even Slide. Now, big question, right? what was my mistake if their server got hacked and their data got leaked? Was there anything I could have done about it? I mean, do you not want me to use Yatra, LinkedIn, Zomato? I mean, is it fair to expect that? Quick question, guys. Is it fair to expect us not to
No,
use these
sir.
websites?
No.
It's not, right? We should be able to use whatever website we want. Correct? So if we should be able to use whatever website we want, then these websites have to be held accountable for their data. Correct? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Bhavya, you can give false data, but you won't do that with LinkedIn, no? LinkedIn pay, you won't put false information. You're looking to get hired, right? So, I mean, somewhere you'll have to give your correct data, no? So now the question is, how do we hold them accountable, right? And I know Suresh spoke about this for a bit, right? So I'm just going to hop on to that bit quickly. So this is just, we can come to this if you want later. I'll just skip it for now, right? So what we're doing about it is something called the DPDPA. Does anyone know what DPDPA is? Digital Privacy Data Protection Act. Correct? Yes. Okay, they added the word letter D in the start. Okay, what is the status of this act? Does anyone know? It's an act. Where does it stand? Legally, what is its status right now? Okay, India has created a new law that, okay, we will protect people's digital privacy, right? But uska current status kya hai? Is anyone aware? Is anyone awake? Can you hear me? Okay, Nandu is not aware. Okay, so this law has been cleared by Parliament. It has been tabled. Both houses of Parliament have cleared it, right? It has gone one step ahead. The President has also signed it off. Okay, so technically it is a law. Okay, Ravindra, I'm not able to hear you also. So, is it maybe because I'm sharing my screen? Wait. Okay, are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, Nikhil. We are able to hear
I
you.
can't hear you. You can hear me.
No. You can hear me?
Okay. So anyway,
Can you hear me?
so in terms of now, there's one thing ki law ban gaya hai, and there's another thing ki implement ho raha hai. Right? We live in India, right? Law banna ek cheez hai, law implement hona dusri cheez hai, right? So we're in that stage जहाँ पर implementation हो रहा है. Now implementation requires several things. You need to create a few bodies to be able to run the law. Like किसी ने violate किया, detect कौन करेगा? उस पे action कौन लेगा? Right? Who will this law report to? Like whatever actions are taken by companies, who will they report to? Right? So for this, agencies need to be created. They're being created in the background. For now, the rules that should be followed under this law are out for public debate. Okay? They are out for public debate. All right? Until the 18th of February. So next 6 days. Okay? You guys can give feedback on the law. At least the rules of the law right now. The law is cleared. The rules with which it will be implemented, you can read and you can give feedback and have, if it makes sense, they change it accordingly. Right? Are you guys clear so far? Yes, no, maybe? In the chat? Yes? Okay. Now I'm going to get into the controversies and what's in it for you. So I don't think I need to share for that. But let's talk about it, right? What are the controversies surrounding this, right? And my purpose of, discussing the controversies with you is not to start a controversy here, right? And neither am I giving you my opinion on it, right? I'm just going to give you guys the facts on what is there, why is it being discussed, problem kya hai, kya ho raha hai, so that you have a base to start thinking about it, having your own discussions, maybe contributing to the rule, and basically understanding what's in it for you in the long term. Why should you care about the law, right? So the first thing is national security ka ek issue hai. Okay, can anyone can someone just speak? Sachin or Janvi, can you just speak? I want to see if I can hear you, or I'll just rejoin the call. I can't hear you. You guys mind if I just rejoin, because now we're going into the
Hello.
Q&A.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Hello, check, check. Yes, can you hear me now? You could hear me earlier also. Can I hear you now? Can someone speak, please?
Yeah, so can you hear me?
I still can't hear people for some reason. Okay. Fair enough. So if you guys can just talk to me on chat, that'll really help, right? Um, all right. So the first controversy surrounding this is ethical, right? There is a clause in the Privacy Act which basically says that in the name of national security, the center can basically provide the authority to any agency, right, to basically circumvent the law, right, and request data that is otherwise private from companies without consent, right? Are we clear about this? Now it's in the name of national security, right? But the original draft actually said that this should be verified by a court, right? Because if there is a corruption charge on a police person, you cannot ask the police person to investigate himself, right? You need the anti-corruption bureau. Someone else needs to monitor, right? So that was the original draft of the law. Now it's been changed to that the center can basically authorize, right? There are no examples or there is no explanation as to how, right? So that is one thing that is up for debate, right? Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, I'm not getting it into it right now. You can read the law yourself, right? The second point, and discuss it amongst yourselves, right? The second point is the business perspective controversy, right? So now when you implement a law, it implements for most companies, right? Now a company like Facebook and the resources it has, right, versus a company like, let's say, a cyber cafe or just a restaurant, right, the resources they have are very different, right? So there's a big question, like, is it fair to ask very small businesses to follow the same standards as large ones? And even when you differentiate it, the ask of small businesses is quite substantial, right? So is it practically possible or not? So that is a point of very big concern. So that is the business concern. Now, why should you read up about the law? Apart from this, because citizens, etc. The other reason why you should read up about the rules and the law in general is because they define a lot of roles like data protection officers, right? Which could be a very crucial, which is basically a career opportunity for you guys, because nobody in the industry knows what they're actually expected to do or what they need to do. Everyone needs to go back and read the law and understand it, and these positions have to be created. It's a mandate as per the law, right? So that becomes a fantastic career opportunity for folks who are coming into the industry right now. Are we good? Yes, no, maybe. So that has been like the presentation part of it, right? Janvi, if you want to add something, please feel free to. Otherwise, I think we can go on to the Q&A bit.
Yeah, I think you've covered everything. We can take questions from the audience.
Is it unmute? Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Now I request the audience to raise their hands if they have any questions. Audience, do you have any questions? Anyone? Online participants, do you have any questions? Please raise your hands.
Yes, I think four people have raised their hands. You can put your questions in the chat box or open your mic and speak.
Okay, unmute. Do unmute your mics if you have any questions. Participants,
May I?
Yeah.
May I?
Uh, okay, hello. Sorry about that, guys. I can hear you now. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to hear you earlier. Uh, please. And I had left the call, so I
Sir,
might
may
have
I?
missed some questions in the chat also. Yeah, Abhay, please go on.
Yes, sir. As you showed us, sir, आपका data lost हुआ था from a particular and several companies due to
Yes.
their उनके वजह से हुआ, उनके
Yes.
behavior और उनके carelessness से हुआ. So can we raise a petition on them कि तुम्हारी वजह से हुआ मेरा data loss? If anything, sir, as a financial it goes at you, अगर कुछ होता है financially तो आप petition raise कर सकते हो उसके लिए.
ओके इसमें दो चीजें हैं. सबसे पहली, जब मेरा डेटा लॉस हुआ था तब देयर वाज नो लॉ टू एक्चुअली फैसिलिटेट दिस. अबे जो आप बोल रहे हो, इट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. देयर वाज नो लॉ टू फैसिलिटेट दैट पिटिशन, राइट? Under a law, they should be suable. Under the Data Protection Act, they can be fined up to 250 crores or even more, actually, in some cases, right? 250 crores or more for a data breach. But I will correct one thing here, Abhay. When we say उनकी केयरलेसनेस या उनकी गलती से की वजह से हुआ, आई मीन एम्प्लॉय कोई खोल के क्लिक करेगा लिंक पे उधर, राइट? सो दैट इज द अदर पर्पस ऑफ स्पूफिंग. सचिन ने जो बोला था, प्रैक्टिकल केसेस में ऐसे यूज होता है कंपनीज में, right? But now, yes, there are laws. Yes, you can raise the issue once these laws get implementation phase complete ho gaya, then you can raise the issue. You can, charge them legally. They will be fined if there was an actual carelessness at their end and they fail to comply with the requirements, right? And they will be fined separately, irrespective of whether आपका financial loss हुआ कि नहीं हुआ. Okay, even अगर नहीं हुआ है लेकिन आपका डेटा और सबका डेटा लीक हुआ है तो अलग बात हो जाती है. Even then it's treated seriously under this law, right? I hope that answers your question, Abhay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Very quickly, okay, there are some questions. What programming do we need for cybersecurity? See, normally, in a lot of cases in cybersecurity, even if you do not know a language, right, there are a lot of codes available out there, a lot of malware, which as long as you understand the basic of editing a code, that also works for you for a lot of languages, right? But there, please wait, I'll come to you. Right? There, your microphone is on. Can you please mute it? Okay. Okay. So yeah, Rudrani, so programming, the only place where programming comes in use in cybersecurity is in two places. Number one, if you want to build secure websites or you want to help a company actually meet requirements that standards have put, that becomes one case. And that depends on which language the website has been coded in, basically. Second case is if you want to create, malware for testing purposes, then you can use programming in that. And that again depends on what language is being used or what languages the company servers, or wherever you want to test for, what servers they are allowing, right? So if you want to go broad, then this is why most malwares are created for Windows. Second most malwares are created for iOS, and third is Linux, right? Okay. Next, there are a lot of questions. So, what programming that I answered? How do we make changes on the device due to which we can prevent any type of plagiaristic attack? Okay, Rachit has asked, how do you protect your phone? I can talk about that for about 4.5 hours, Rachit, right? So, there's no short and sweet answer, right? But the most basic thing is make sure you stay updated, all your apps, OSs, right? But if you want to go into the detail of that, then it'll take about 3-4 hours to actually discuss, because I'll have to talk about browsers कैसे protect करते हैं, emails कैसे protect करते हैं, banking कैसे protect करते हैं, phone कैसे protect करते हैं, laptop कैसे protect. It becomes a very long discussion, right? You'll have to forgive me for that, Rachit. In the interest of time, I'm skipping that part of your question. Is Kali Linux efficient for learning ethical hacking, for practicing and learning? Yes, it is very nice. In fact, somebody mentioned earlier that they wanted to learn about hacking, defensive as well as offensive, right? Uh, the people who make Kali Linux is a company called Offensive Security. They also provide courses, right? These are slightly advanced courses where you have to basically practically prove your mettle at being able to break into systems, right? In the industry, their certifications are also accepted, right? EC Council is the other place. So Suresh mentioned that the EC Council is where you get the CA certification from. You can get a whole host of other certifications from them there as well. And for that, you can please speak to Sachin. He is actually an authorized partner of the EC Council to train as well as certify people here, right? So very quickly, Sachin, are you here? I'm not sure if
Sir,
he's still here.
hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. In the classroom, we have some students who want to ask questions as well, and they have noted down the questions. Do you mind if they come forward and ask them?
Oh, please, please, please.
Okay, thank you so
That'd
much.
be very nice. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, please tell me your name before starting, no?
My name is Shlok Nair, sir. I am from Atharva College itself. So,
Hi, Shloक. Tell us.
hello, sir. So, I had a question related to some ethical consideration which you were talking about earlier. So,
Fine.
the ethical concerns that I was uh, mending on was basically, would people, prioritize their data privacy over their convenience? Like, where will they draw a line that convenience and data privacy? So they like to protect their data over their convenience because technological advancements are basically made for the convenience more over than privacy. So where will we draw that line?
So, Shlok, the thing is that yes, technological advances are for convenience, but why should they not take care of your privacy? Right?
Well,
So
yeah,
if a company is making, let's say, an app that works for you, right? Let's say that works very well for you. It does something for you, right? Let's take the case of Zomato. Yeah? It gets food for me, or it gives me restaurant reviews, right? I like both of them. It's a convenience for me, right? Now, for that, they need some data about me. I give them the data. Why can't they be held? And this is okay to do, but why can't they be held accountable for protecting that data? You understand?
yeah.
उनके
So
पास डेटा है कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. You have consented to give them. I did not consent to have my data uploaded on the dark web and anybody can use it.
yes,
That
sir.
I did not consent to,
Yes, sir.
right? So technological development has to happen. It's a must, right? It's a must. You cannot stop it. But what we need to ensure, and this is why these laws are now coming into place. Your question is exactly what the world was asking, which is why GDPR got implemented in Europe. Here, DPDPA has been implemented. Basically, hold them responsible for the data that they hold, not stop their technological development,
Okay,
right?
sir. Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else in class?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, I just would like to ask you one question. That
Fire.
because girls and any student nowadays or anybody, they are very much habituated of posting their photographs or reels on Instagram.
Hmm.
And for from girl side students, I would like to ask you one question from the security point of view. How much the girls' data or anyone's data posted on Instagram is safe? Like the student, they don't feel while posting where my data is going, how much any hackers can use for any other purpose or what. So I would like to know what exactly, how much our data is secure on Instagram, please.
Okay. So, okay. So, okay. I'm just thinking about where to start, right? Because you remember those slides I skipped over in the middle, right? They basically spoke about the privacy policy that Facebook has in place. There were some clauses from there, right? If you want, I'll just go quickly over them, ma'am, because I think that's what a lot of people should know, right? They've changed some of these policies, but this is what the thinking essentially was, right? So I'm just going back to that. I'm really sorry to go back to it, but okay. This used to be their thing. You give us a non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free worldwide license to use any IP content that you post on or in connection with Facebook. Instagram has something similar. Basically, we can use your photo to do whatever we want or your video to do whatever we want. You've given us this right. Okay. If your content has been shared with other people, for example, it might not get deleted even if you try to delete your account. Okay. We can use your name, profile, photo, consent, and information to do whatever. If we want to pass it to a business or we want to display, to sell some product or something, we can do that without compensating you in any way, right? We can maintain your data for legal purposes as long as necessary on a case-to-case basis. There's a clause ahead of this also which says that until we are not able to delete it, it will be there, obviously. We make no guarantees that they will be safe and secure, your products. We make no guarantee that they will be always safe and secure, right? Under no circumstances will we be liable to you for any lost profits, revenues, information or data, or consequential anything, special, indirect, exemplary, punitive, or incidental damages arising out of or related to these TNC, even if we have been advised of the possibility of such damages, right? Okay, so basically what that means is if someone says कि आप data share कर रहे हो, ये this person's data is going to be used to murder this person also, and Facebook knows this, and they do not inform you or do anything about it, they are not legally liable. These are the terms most of us have signed off while joining their services, right? So this is where critical information comes in. Now, practically speaking, ye hoga nahi. I think sharing on Instagram, there's nothing wrong with sharing things on Instagram, Facebook. Just be very careful about what you are sharing, when you are sharing, right? And just as a general perspective, one of the things that I suggest is always share with a time delay, right? If you've gone on a holiday, do not post while you are on a holiday with your family because it tells the world your house is empty to be robbed, right? For example, if you are at a particular cafe right now and you post it immediately, there's a likelihood that somebody will know where your current location is. So that facilitates something like a stalker, right? At least post it with a delay and be extremely sensitive about what you post, right? Especially women, right? But guys as well. I mean, it works both ways, right? So, I mean, everyone understands what ma'am's concern was, right? But the answer is not posting because you guys will not listen to that, right? The answer is at least be responsible about it, right? Because the kind of cases that we hear on a daily basis are simply ridiculous, right? Um, are we clear about that?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your
And
insights on
does
this
that answer
topic.
your question?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
scary
so much.
enough for them, ma'am, or slightly more you want? I can talk about cases that I've heard also. So, cases that I've heard and worked on, those get really scary. So ज़्यादा नहीं करना है. Please
Um,
continue.
yes, now I hand over the mic to Kashish. She will ask her question.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Kashish, and I study in Atharva itself. So I have a question that how much control do an individual should have on their personal data? For example, full control, some control, or minimal control. Like how they share their data or how they use their personal data.
Well, my personal suggestion, right, and my opinion, my expert advice, whatever you want to call it, you should have as much control of your own data as is possible. And when you are sharing your data or information, you should share as little as possible everywhere that it is possible. I hope that's clear. I haven't minced any words there, right? So
Okay,
if you
sir.
can
Thank
put
you
a
so
fake
much.
name on a website, put a fake name on a website also. I'll go to that extent. In fact, if you ask me, I open most websites in a incognito mode. The irony is this meeting was not allowed without an email login from my side, right? So I tried that also before logging
Okay,
in.
so individuals should have full control on their personal data, where they share or how they share.
Not only where they share and how they share, the law goes one step further once it's implemented. You should have the right to have your data deleted on any website that you have shared it with, right? So I think Bhavya, someone said such terms and conditions should be illegal. Yes, that is why these laws are coming into effect, right? If you tell Facebook or Google or LinkedIn to delete your data, they should listen to it and actually be legally bound to go and delete it from everywhere, right?
Thank you,
So
sir.
not just control on your data, what you shared also you should have control over.
Thank you, sir. That answers my question well.
In fact, I'll give you one bonus thing, Kashish. On most websites that follow GDPR, you will have the option to ask them to delete your data already, even if it's not a part of Indian law, because they just implemented it globally, right? And you can ask Facebook, Google, at least these two I know for sure. You can ask them what data of yours they have. They will actually they'll tell you 2-3 दिन में एक हफ्ते में भेजते हैं, but they'll send you an email telling you, giving you a download link where you get all the data they've collected about you.
Thank you so much,
These
sir.
options are there. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I am Nidhi Jogi. I'm from Atharva College itself. So I had this one question that do you think that companies do enough to be transparent and like what do you think? How do they use our data? Like the data that we share, like let's say sometimes we also share our
Nidhi,
location.
Nidhi, let me just be clear about this. I won't mince words. Companies will never be completely transparent about how they use your data. Never, ever, right? If they can
Yes.
find another way to monetize your data, they will monetize your data, right? They will.
Yes.
Even after the laws are implemented, they will find every loophole that is there and they will push beyond that, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's just be clear. So from company perspective, this is how it is, and it
Okay,
will
got
be.
it.
It's not going to change, right? There is no like ethically responsible companies are very limited, and even then, what they claim and what they do can be something very different, right? The example in case is OpenAI versus DeepSeek. Latest we'll talk about, right? OpenAI said we will be an open source. Everything will be open. We're a collective initiative. This was their original talk. The moment ChatGPT tried to take off and they tried to make money, they haven't really revealed all the stuff that they said they would reveal. Whereas DeepSeek, a Chinese company, has actually gone open source, right?
Yes,
So
thank you.
as of this moment in the AI world, a Chinese company is more transparent than a US company. Just take a second for that to digest, right?
Yes, yes, okay. Thank you so much.
Fire away. I can't hear whoever said that.
Hello.
Hello?
Sir, this is Kashish again. Uh,
Okay.
I have this personal question. Like in today's era, all the mobile phones have a system of biometrics. So we like apply biometrics to your phone for safety purpose. But one time we had an orientation in our college, and it has said to us that biometrics is not as safe as it should be. So what that does that mean?
Okay. So you use fingerprint on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you a case. There was this college in India only. It was the chemical engineering department or the polymer engineering department, one of the two. You know what these kids did? And I shouldn't be saying this in a college session, but I'll just say it because kids did it, so you'll realize how doable it is. Uh, they made a polymer where they were taking each other's fingerprint on a mold that they created, and then they were using that to do proxy. They had a biometric attendance, right? ये कॉलेज में हो रहा है इंडिया में, right? So now if you think about adding putting that to a criminal world, you remove the innocence from it, you can think about how crazy that is. For example, can someone use it to authenticate Aadhaar for you, right? Which is the authentication for a bank account. Could something like this actually be used to take a loan in your name? Take a second to digest that, right? Because Aadhaar OTP is the bypass for biometric. There's always the option, जाके मैं fingerprint ही मारूंगा. I will not take OTP. Just take a second to digest that, Kashish. I'll leave you with that. That's why I say, however little data you can share, that's best.
But sir, from the perspective of locking your phone safely, it's better from using password, right? Password can be known by others, but fingerprint, if we use, we can only access to your phone, right?
That's what I told you, na? You can not only access, other people can also access.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the answer.
Yeah, your fingerprint can be taken off a mold. It's not that hard.
Hello, sir. This is Janil Joshi. Am I audible?
Hi, Jenner. Yes, please tell me.
Sir, I have a question. I have two to three questions. First question is, sir, what is plus addressing in email? That how do you know the particular person has sold our email to some other company for monetizing its company?
Well, how do you know a particular person that you won't know?
Okay.
Do you get spam emails, Janil?
Yeah, somewhat like 10, 15.
Do you get spam calls?
Yeah.
Have you wondered where they got your phone number, where they got your email ID from? Someone sold it to them, right? Now, this could be someone who took your, you went to apply for a SIM card at a shop, वो form से उसने उठा लिया. It could be that person, or it could be some, website database किसी ने बेच दिया, disgruntled IT fellow, right, of a smaller company. It could be on either side of the spectrum. Physical भी हो सकता है, virtual भी हो सकता है, right? Now, the thing is, once these agencies are in place, the expectation is that when you complain, they will track down whoever sent that and then ask him kisne kiya. Whether they will actually do it practically or not is something we need to see, right? But in the case of that 1930 helpline, 1930, right, they actually go up to 12 layers of. Suresh spoke about 1930, right?
Yeah.
If you lose money, you call 1930 with the. Yeah?
Yeah.
When you call 1930 and you give them all the details, if your money has been transferred to account X, from account X it has gone to account Y, from account Y it has gone to account Z, from account Z it has gone to account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? They will track it up to 12 layers and try to retrieve it for you, right? So the intention is in place. Whether they can or cannot do it practically is a different story.
Okay.
They need resources also to investigate, right?
Sir, I have another question also. Sir, most of the time when I'm scrolling through some social media platforms, I have seen most of the content creators which are doing ethical hacking are using Python programming, and some other counselors also are recommending me Python programming. Why only Python? Why not another programming languages?
See, when you are doing, okay, let me tell you this, Jana. If I'm creating a malware, right, and I want to send this malware to test a company's server, right, but that server allows only PHP to run. What language should I write the malware in?
PHP.
If I am creating a phishing website to check if people fall into it, right, and that if a company's employees fall into it, and that company's website actually is made in HTTP, what should I program in?
That particular program.
The malware or the phishing website, it should be identical, no?
Yeah.
Otherwise, why will people fall for it? You understand? And I think Rudrani asked this question for a second time. Now, do you understand why I tell you that, you need to be able to handle code. So in most cases, it's about handling the code more than anything, right? So we won't develop the website. We'll just pull their code and make alterations to actually make that website function, right? We don't need to develop a perfectly working website, right? We just need the login page to work. हमारे credentials आ जाएंगे, उतना ही चाहिए हमें, right? बाकी functions चले ना चले, it's really not that necessary. If we had more time, I could show you how malwares are actually manipulated. Even though I don't know the coding language of that malware, I just understand the essence of the language. I can still manipulate a malware so that no antivirus is able to detect it, right? So that can also be done. Now, when you want to get into stuff like this, then which language you're programming in does not matter. It matters on whether you understand the base of programming or not, right? How it works, how the logic runs, how the actual language works, right? What you can change, what you cannot change, right? How can you alter the hash of a malware without actually breaking the code? If you just understand this much, for most languages, that is also more than enough. You get what I'm saying? If you guys think that I will learn this language and I'll get a job in cybersecurity, that's not how it works, right?
Okay.
You can learn 20 languages. फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. The question is, do you understand the standards and are you able to follow those standards in even 2 languages? That is more important.
But sir, while after suppose accessing someone's data and when exiting, will the particular programming or the particular method will be good enough to exit from that from the line and without leaving any trace?
Don't you think that depends on the exploit more than the... For example, if you get super app access on someone's phone, right, and you are able to basically delete all the data that is there, right? If you can see the videos and transfer the videos, you can delete the videos, right?
Yeah.
So you can just delete, you can actually delete your traces, right? But even then, then caution comes. You have to be very cautious about other things also. So in that case, your language did not matter. But what mattered was how much data did you use, how much data did you transfer. Okay, internet data usage, say, will they be able to detect your presence, right? Someone had mentioned, no, if your internet data usage goes up and you haven't done it, it means some software on your phone is using more data than it should, right?
Yeah.
Which will highlight on the data usage of your phone also, right? And your telecom provider will always know how much data you used, or your internet provider, correct? तो उसके पास का data तुम कहाँ से उठाओगे? So the question is less about which language you use and more about how you use it. You understand what I'm saying? So even when you are in someone's system, you don't want to just go blindly using it or rampaging through their system so you get detected. You need to be quiet, slow, and go about it with precision, taking only what you actually need and wiping your tracks behind you. Are we clear, Janil?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is a lot of questions on the chat as well. I'll just fly over it. Yeah, if anyone in class wants to ask, you can also ask. Terms and conditions, Rachit asked.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but we have our last question of the day by Swara, and she needs to ask one last question. So handing over to her.
Hello, sir. Myself, Swara. It's not a very profound question, but I would like to question that companies obviously need ethical hacking services. So, how do you decide whether to hire an in-house ethical hacker or an external consultant?
Very nice. So normally, why do you... Okay. See, I'll tell you the problem with an in-house team. You should have an in-house team to implement your cybersecurity measures. That's non-negotiable, right? If your company is above a certain size, right? But now you tell me one thing. If I have a certain team in-house, right, and they're doing something, so even the accounts team is normally in-house for a big company, right? Why do we require an external audit for them, right? Because you cannot expect the person who possibly made a mistake to check that he made a mistake or she made a mistake. You get what I'm saying? It's like asking you as a student to check your own paper after an exam. You understand? Like in a very simple term, If you've given an exam, imagine me telling you that you correct grade your own paper, right? How will you grade it? You'll give yourself 100 on 100, no, all the time, right? So it has to be graded by somebody else. You get it? So that is where an external team comes into play, and that's where consultancy firms come into play. Okay. I think there have been quite a few questions about AI and cybersecurity. Can I just, that has been a general theme. I think two, three people have asked it. Can I just speak two lines about it? Then we can close, I think, right? So AI can be used to, number one, help you code when you're building applications. Number two, you can even ask AI to check if it has any loopholes that exist as per certain standards, right? Number three, applications will now be built where they're already being built actually, and some of them are already out there that claim to be AI run. That will basically, okay, so when you are in a company, let's look at a big company or in a bank, right? And you're seeing their threat monitor, right? When you look at it, you'll have like thousands of threads coming in, right? Some phishing links, some email, some something, some something. At any point of time, thousands of things are coming in, right? Especially the larger the bank. Now, AI can disqualify some of them as fake or take some standardized decisions, right? For example, this is a spam email or this is a phishing email. Do not deliver it to the recipient, right? This decision, in a lot of cases, does not need a human to see it, right? It will start from there and then it will evolve the way I see it to actually detecting threats that exist in a system, checking for transfer movement, looking for, in some cases, someone was talking about covering your tracks. So before you cover your tracks, if there's an AI bot that is constantly checking the network, that will also be able to get detected to a certain extent. So in the future, I see it going in this direction, right? Defensively speaking. Offensively speaking, that person could have had an AI bot that is actually wiping its own tracks as it goes. So he does whatever he wants, the AI bot just cleans his tracks. Or maybe possibly going forward, actually does the work for him so he can focus attention on another company. I hope that answers the general AI in cybersecurity question, right?
Thank you so much, sir, for
Is
sharing your
somebody
knowledgeable
speaking about a
insights.
specific?
Thank you
Okay.
so much, sir, for sharing your valuable insights. A big round of applause for Sachin Deria, sir, Nikhil Talwar, sir, Janki Deshpande, ma'am, and Suresh Menon, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to the college for hosting this and allowing us to interact with students. It's always a pleasure.
To conclude the event, I would like to call my co-host, Misty Fiza, to deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Student Council, I, Fiza Mistry from the Data Science Department, extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for gracing us with your presence today. We are honored to speakers, Mr. Sachin Deria sir and Mr. Suresh Menon sir, share their knowledge with us and provide new insights on cybersecurity and related fields. Thank you for your enlightening sessions. And also a huge thank you to Nikhil Talwar sir, the co-founder of Cybermasters and a cybersecurity consultant. I would like to express our sincerest appreciation to our esteemed management. We are grateful to our Honorable President, Sri Sunil Rani sir, for his constant support and motivation. We thank Honorable Mrs. Varsha Rani ma'am, founder of All Play Production, for her guidance. Our respected director, Dr. Praveen Namade sir, deserves special mention for his invaluable and timely support. I thank our respected principal ma'am, Dr. Preeti Jain, from the bottom of my heart for providing us with this platform and opportunity to broaden our horizons. We appreciate the support of our head of department, Mr. Vinod Yadav sir, and our esteemed faculties, including Kiran Sachala ma'am and Aishwarya Shinde ma'am. A special note to my thank you, my co-anchor Kavya Namdev. We thank our amazing audience from all across India.
Media for sharing their time and interest today. Your presence has enriched our gathering and we hope you leave with new innovations and learnings. In closing, let us forward the spirit of collaboration that has defined this event. Thank you once again, and we can look forward to welcoming you to future events.
Thank you, thank you.
Feedback forms have been shared on the chat box and on the WhatsApp. Do give your valuable reviews. Thank you.